Welcome back, everybody, to another weekly broadcast from Franchise Voicebox, franchising stories from Asia. My name is Robert Beausoleil, and I have with me here today Mr. Sean Ngo, the CEO and co-founder of VF Franchise Consulting. Recently, Sean and I have been discussing franchising in various countries around Asia. And for this week's program, we're going to focus on Thailand, which is actually one of my very favorite countries. Thailand has about 70 million people. And one of the interesting things is that they get almost 40 million tourists every single year. And while it's best known for its friendly people, its great food, and its beaches, it should also be known as one of the easiest countries to do business in the entire world. In fact, Thailand ranked number 21 out of 190 countries as the easiest country to do business. So besides personally loving it, I think there are many reasons why Thailand is a very attractive market for doing business. What about you, Sean? What do you say would be the top 5 reasons to franchise in Thailand?
Well, I'm going to list 5, but I think you gave out quite a few good lists of additional reasons why Thailand is so attractive to so many investors all around the world, not only within Asia. Certainly with 70 million people, Thailand has the second largest economy in ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So outside of Indonesia, Thailand is way up there. Leaps and bounds in many parts, in many ways, to other countries in the region. And what you find also is the country has a very developed franchise industry. There's at last count, over 500 foreign franchises with an estimated value of, 250 to 300 billion Thai baht, which is approximately about 8 billion to 10 billion US dollars. So it's a sizable amount of spending, specifically in this particular sector every year. US brands and Western brands are quite well regarded in Thailand, especially leading brands in food and beverage, to education, to retail and services, fitness and health and entertainment, etc. And, again, this is a very wealthy country, in this part of the world. Over 40% of the country's population is considered middle class, which is quite high for this part of the world. And what that means is you have about a consumer base of 28 million people that are either middle class or upper middle class or just downright wealthy. And so, again, it's a huge market in and of itself. And I guess maybe another good reason why you should consider franchising in this country is currently today, there are no specific franchising laws or code of ethics related to franchising. Now, we're all, in favor of code of ethics. We all want to make sure we're doing the right things. But there, in some countries, you find that some of these laws can be egregious. In Thailand, it is not the case. And maybe going back to what Robert mentioned earlier, the ease of doing business in Thailand is much higher than in many other places.
Yeah. So, you mentioned a lot of different industries a second ago, but what, specific industries or sectors in franchising are really attractive or most attractive for the Thailand market?
That's a great question. If you've ever visited Thailand, if you're ever one of those 40 million tourists that have visited Thailand annually every year, you will find that Thais really like to go shopping. They really like to go out and eat and have fun and go to entertainment and enjoy their recreational activities. So it is in many ways very similar to other Asian markets. The climate in Thailand is tropical, so it is warm most of the year. if not downright, the entire year, especially in the greater Bangkok area. But what you find is, food and beverage remains very, very interesting, right? For many different Thais, and it's not only F&B from the West, from the U.S. or Canada, or the UK or France, but it's also within the region, the Asian region, right? So cuisine from Korea to Japan to Taiwan to Hong Kong to China, all of these countries represent an enormous opportunity for brands that come from these regions to come to places like Thailand, because they are looked upon as not only being premium, but also is very similar or has very similar taste profiles that Thais have and enjoy day in and day out. And of course, again, you'll find the most beautiful shopping malls in the region. You can find them in Thailand. They're iconic. And again, branded retail franchises that are not already here still have an enormous opportunity to tap into that middle class and upper income class that is so ready to enjoy new products and services. If you're focused on education or recreational activities that are focused on young adults, on children, or have activities and products that are catering to families, those opportunities are still aplenty in a market like Thailand, and perhaps in some ways even underserved in Thailand, just because so much of the franchising activities have been in other areas of retail and also in food and beverage. And again, sectors like health and fitness, which we know in Asia is well underserved. So, and I'll give you an example. In the U.S., 1 in 4 people belong to a paid gym, a paid membership gym. In Australia, that rate is about 15%. In Asia, it's, in countries like Thailand, it's well less than 2%. It is just enormous opportunities. The ability to grow that business to the 70 million consumers in Thailand with 40% of them in the middle class represents an enormous pipeline of opportunities for the right brands that focus on health and fitness, etc. So yeah, just a lot of great opportunities still for many brands that are not already here.
Yeah, it's a very dynamic market, that's for sure. And they seem to like going out more than and just doing things. It doesn't matter so much what it is, but they just like to go out. So I always enjoyed when I lived in Thailand. I have one last question for you. What are some of the latest franchising news for Thailand?
That's a great question. Being a developed franchising marketplace, some of the leading edge, next technologies when it comes to franchising is already well underway in a market like Thailand. And really, some of the biggest stories in Thailand and indeed all across Asia is the growing popularity of ghost or cloud kitchens. And what you find is basically all these businesses, all these franchisors and franchises want to get closer to their consumers. And one of the best ways to do that is to establish ghost or cloud kitchens. Even some of Thailand's largest conglomerates in retail and food and beverage, for example, the Central Restaurants Group, one of the country's leading quick service restaurant chains, is ramping up its cloud kitchens all across Thailand. They're building facilities that produce either food or drinks specifically with the intent of delivering them to consumers, through food apps or even through their own apps when it comes to these types of online sales. And really, CRG plans to spend about 500 million baht to open about 100 cloud kitchens across the country over the next 5 years. Just a major investment in their belief that the food and beverage industry is evolving, and we are leveraging technology and also being able to deliver these products in a safe, hygienic manner that we must do so today, right? So great to see that, and even not, you don't have to be the largest conglomerate, one of the largest conglomerates in Thailand to do this, right? Even family-owned and popular restaurant chain Mango Tree and Coca are exploring how they can leverage the boom in ghost kitchens and food delivery in order to cater to the Thai market, in a very efficient, capital efficient way, and at the same time provide products and services that are affordable to that middle income class that we are all targeting. So, but it's not only about ghost kitchens and cloud kitchens and food and beverage. Even International Workplace Group, which offers a flexible office business co-working space solution for entrepreneurs, for different businesses that need flexible workspace solutions. They recently signed a 40-unit deal with the Ratanakorn Asset Group in Thailand to expand the IWG Regis brand all across the rest of the country outside of Bangkok. So again, even non-traditional F&B franchises can be very, very successful in a developed franchise market like Thailand.
Well, thanks, Sean, very much for the informative information. Thanks, everyone, for joining us this week. Thailand's long acceptance of international cultures, their high volume of tourists, and their ease of doing business really make it one of our most attractive markets, both for franchisors and also for Thai investors looking to bring in something new. So I think it's a great market for franchising in general. Please remember to hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss next week's episode of Franchising Voicebox. You can always see the latest franchise brands at our website, vffranchiseconsulting.com, regardless of where you live in Asia. And we're always willing to speak with you about franchise sales or consulting services in Asia. Please feel free to email us at any time. info@vffranchiseconsulting.com. Thank you again very much for joining me today, Sean, and thanks everyone for listening. Have a great day and goodbye.
Thank you, Robert.